Hey Carl, thanks for coming out to Armasight's booth. Glad to have you here. I know you've got a lot of history. You've spent 25 years in the special operations community.
26.
So you've got a lot of time on quality equipment, and I know you've done a lot of testing with the Legacy Zeus.
I love the Zeus. I personally swear by this thing. I've got a couple of years behind it. Hog hunting, everything else, it's the bomb, it's the bomb. But what I want to know is, what do you got new for 2015?
Absolutely. We've got the Pro line this year, and it still uses a FLIR core, but now it's got the FLIR Tau 2.7.2 core, which has some added features like digital enhancement. It's got a really rugged housing. It'll withstand 50 cal recoil.
It looks a lot more rugged.
Warranted, yes. You can tell it's solid machined aluminum.
It'll take up to a 50 cal.
50 cal, up to and including 50 cal, warranted for it, and there's very few on the market that do that. And it's all 100% made in the States. Another thing you'll notice is that there's several different lens sizes, so it kind of gives you the flexibility of price, but also the flexibility of different engagement distances.
So like where I've got a sniper background, but sometimes we do close quarters CQB work, we could do short range, medium, and long range stuff also.
Absolutely. And another awesome feature about the Pro line is it'll run on either CR123 batteries or AA's.
Yeah, my Zeus ran off of 2 of them.
Correct, and here we've got 4 of them. It'll run on either type of battery, and it'll actually run on 1 battery, 2 battery, 3 batteries.
So if I only had 1 left,
absolutely, it'll still run.
Nice.
Another nice feature of the new Pro line is this 2,000-yard rangefinder, and it will actually read the range out in the display, so you're not.
See, now that's big, because sitting over in Iraq, overseas, you know, in order to get that firing solution, you've got to know the distance to the target, and if you can't see it through your night vision, it does you no good at all. So that's big, and the laser rangefinder is actually zero to the scope.
Absolutely.
Once you do it,
you can actually zero it, and it'll stay zeroed from taking it off, putting it back on, and then to use that also, you know, in the regular Zeus, they didn't have reticles with holdovers.
Yep.
And so in the new Pro line, they've got both mill-based reticles and MOA-based reticles. Okay. So if somebody doesn't have that military background where they're not familiar with,
and they still want to do minutes of angle, they can do it.
Absolutely.
If military background or they prefer mills, nice, very nice.
Absolutely. So those are kind of the big features. The digital enhancement's really nice. It's a crisp enough image that it's almost like you're not looking at thermal. It looks more like just a clean digital image.
Controls on the top are the same as the Zeus that I was using?
They are identical. So now, those that are familiar with it.
My only gripe was always having to reach up top. I don't like taking my hand off the gun.
Right. Now we've got a remote pressure switch, no wires to get tangled up, and you can actually use all the controls of the Zeus
from the side of the gun.
Absolutely.
And that's
turn it on, turn it off, go through the menu options, change your color palettes, your reticles. So that's a really nice feature. You're not having to move your support hands away from the fore end and letting all that weight hang out on one hand, and it just gives you a lot more flexibility.
All right, how about if I'm trying to bring somebody else, another shooter, onto the target, like give them a bearing or something like that?
It's got GPS and a compass, so you can actually get a bearing, and it's got an inclinometer. So again, if you're actually shooting at distance, which the 100mm lens is completely capable of, you've already got that inclinometer to give you. You've got an azimuth, angle. It's all the information you could possibly use.
Awesome.
There.
So I could literally bring if I was working as a 2-man sniper team, I could talk my other shooter onto it, so we're both tracking the same target. And I was watching some of the footage that you guys have filmed early with this, and it is just so much clearer than where thermal sights were just a couple years ago.
Oh, absolutely. Really, and the price has come down drastically as well. The price is
which is good for me now that I've retired.
Yeah.
Hey, I see it's got a couple extra buttons than my Zeus has.
Right.
What are the extra buttons do?
All your 5 control buttons are the same. You do have some extra features now in these buttons, so you can change your reticles quicker. You've got Bluetooth, which makes it a lot. You know as well as I do that especially if you don't have somebody that's learned on these, but you're training up, say, your guys with them, it's just a lot more user friendly. Not everybody's on the same level when it comes to using this stuff. So in an environment where it's an issued item, it makes it a lot easier having these shortcut buttons, and it also makes your startup time quicker. If you're in the field and need to get to a certain feature, you don't have to scroll through the menu. You can use all these shortcuts. So,
you know, a big thing for me is the sniper teams working overseas. It's not always just about taking the shot. A lot of time it's about observing, and you need to be able to capture the video or capture photos that you can send intel back to higher so that they can make the decisions. Is there a way with the Zeus that we can, let's say, capture the image or capture so many seconds of video?
Absolutely. We've got this DVR that'll record on an SD card, and it also works as kind of a fail-safe backup battery. So you, like, if you're out gathering intel, you just plug this into your Zeus.
So we go right into like the...
Absolutely.
Okay.
You plug it into the port, mount it to the side, and it's only about 4 ounces. It's pretty light. You can...
that weighs nothing, and then all I would have to do is pop the card, stick it into my Tough Book, and then I could send it SATCOM to wherever I needed to go.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
So, and there's so many applications there as far as recording the video, you know, not to mention the battery pack. And then, you know, if you need that external battery pack, you can run it at the same time as the DVR.
Now this thing ran off of 2 CR123s. Sometimes hard to find overseas, and awesome sight, love it, but it drinks. Absolutely. It drinks them. All right, does it run off of 2 batteries also?
The new Pro line runs off of 4 batteries, but it will run on 1 battery, 2 batteries, 3 batteries.
Seriously? So if I only had 1 battery left in my bag, absolutely, I could just toss 1
And
battery.
if you've got, say, AA's with you, not CR123s, drop those AA's in there. You know, Supply tends to have a lot more AA's than they do 123s.
And a lot of times overseas, like our radios, we'll run rechargeable batteries.
Right.
Just because, man, if you're deployed for 6 months and you're eating so many batteries every night, you just can't fly with that many of them.
Right.
Will it take rechargeable batteries?
It will take. It's one of the few units on the market that's actually warranted for rechargeable batteries. Because rechargeable batteries sometimes can spike in voltage when they're pulled off the charger. This is protected against that. It has surge protection built in, and then this battery pack takes 18650 rechargeables.
So that is a separate rechargeable battery pack. Correct. That you would just plug right in the side of the gun.
You plug it right in, and it'll extend your battery life from about 6 hours on up to 12. And as soon as those batteries die, it'll...
Why has it got 2 cables?
That's going to let you run both the battery pack and the DVR simultaneously.
So I could run it off of rechargeable batteries and also shoot the intel to send up the higher.
That's correct. That's correct.
Wow.
So you don't have that burden of trying to change batteries in the field, because it's going to last an entire night through into the day.
Man, that's awesome. That is really awesome.
And as soon as these batteries run dry in the rechargeable battery box, you've got it'll transition straight to the onboard battery.
So I don't have to mess with it at all.
That's correct.
Well, man, that's freaking incredible, dude. It's been a great year for Armasight. No, thanks. Hey, I look forward to you guys, everybody at Armasight, coming down the Tier 1 group. We'll knock out some good night vision training down there, and maybe we'll get out and pop some more hogs.
Looking forward to it. Thanks, Carl.